like going back into that blend that you give, like if you're um like you have so much knowledge on content creation and so many tools that there's so much value that you provide, and also that other side of like who are you becoming and that life coaching aspect. I think anyone should just like take you if they want to like work on coaching, like not on their coaching skills, but on like learning how to create content or like get bigger, but also going and making sure that they are staying authentic to themselves, that they're actually like connecting with their values and they're doing it in a sustainable way, like not being able to burn out. Like there's all these tools like that a coach provides, and I think like working with you would really like help anyone like who has those dreams and also wanting to become a better person. um yeah, I think it would be very beneficial. So definitely, I recommend anyone to go work with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for connecting. How have you been?
I've been great. It's a beautiful day in Vancouver and trying to enjoy this sun while I have this call with you. So it's going really good. Thank you.
Did you just finish working?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Finally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
And the day looks beautiful, so it's perfect. So as we already discussed, like the agenda for a call, I just wanted to get a sense of your experience working with me so far, as it relates to like helping you get started with your journey on Instagram and helping you get comfortable posting reels, and at the same time also like working through some of the mental blocks or like whatever issues that we discussed to our time, working together in the coaching capacity. And so I just wanted to like thank you for, agreeing to get on a call with me and discuss this because it's going to help me a lot. And at the same time, it's been great seeing your progress. I've been watching the reels that you've been created. You've seem way more comfortable talking on camera, and I've watched like your reels related to coaching that you've been posting. And so that's been great. I remember, when we went for a walk the other day and we talked about like, you mentioning that you don't know like how you're gonna start or what strategy you're gonna take when it comes to posting content. And then we talked about like, different ways you can create content. And so from that to actually seeing you take this 30-day challenge and you're posting a reel every single day, you're like even way more consistent as compared to me. So how's that like experience been for you? I would really love to know that. And um yeah, so if it's okay with you, let's jump right in with the first question.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what you do and what your Instagram account is about, to let the viewers know. And also, what was your situation before you started working with me?
Yeah. Well, I'm a professional coach, a life and career coach, and you're also going in that path as a coach. So I thought we'd really connect on that sense. So my accounts in social media have been completely neglected. I tried to start it 5 years ago, and I left it because I just didn't know like the tools. It was taking too much time, and I also had like other career changes that I was focusing on. But I thought it's a really great time to start now because I just see so much like AI going on. Like there's so many tools to learn from. And that's something that I was thinking like if I don't start now, then when? And my purpose is to reach as many people as I can, and like to be able to provide my coaching services like worldwide. So that's why I wanted to have an audience in social media where I'm starting it in Instagram. And when I reached out to you, even just that first walk that we had of just talking about like different tools and where to start, like what are the blocks that I have, and like even thinking like why is this a good time? And I think it was like extremely helpful for me. Also hearing your experience on how it is like to be a beginner and how to just like start. So that was a little bit of how like it started for me and why I decided to get into it. And also like why I reached out to you to learn more because you seem to have like a very good grasp on like different tools. I learned a lot from you on that, even just on that walk.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. Can you talk a little bit about like what was stopping you from actually taking action and something that we might have discussed that you feel like some sort of mindset shift that you might have experienced that actually got you a little bit more comfortable posting?
Yeah, I think a lot of the like those mental blocks are like trying to be advanced maybe like even before you start, right? You see so much like existing reels and posts and videos on Instagram and like I was thinking, how am I even gonna get there? Like, is anybody gonna listen to me if I'm like, but it takes time to become a beginner. And what really helped me was when you told me like focus on yourself and your own journey. And that's also like a story to tell with other people. And not don't compare yourself. Like I think it's great. You gave me some tools like find coaches that do the same thing and like have some inspiration from other coaches and what works and what goes into viral, but also bring it back to your own journey and don't compare yourself to what you're seeing out there. And it takes time, like, but there's like other tools, for example, how to make like hooks and what are like some tools that I could use, like CapCut and also like how to engage like from start to end with like in a video. So all those tips were super helpful and it helped me even just like think about how to get started.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like when we started working together, I think it's a very universal feeling. There is like a lot of noise, and a lot of times we just let the noise kind of paralyze us instead of figuring out that, okay, what is the next step that I can take to actually take the action. And so I remember we were sitting on the bench, like at the beach, and I told you that instead of like figuring out how to perfectly edit videos, I would rather you just like pick your camera and start talking to it and let Instagram do the rest and just put yourself out there and not even worry about like, what a perfect reel is supposed to be. And it's been great seeing that like since then you've been posting every single day and your reels are actually getting like not even views but also engagement, like all those people that are commenting on that, right? And they appreciate you like being back. So it's been great seeing that.
Thank you, thank you. And yeah, I think I still feel like a beginner, but at least now n- I'm okay with being a beginner. And I think that's part of like the journey. And it's also great just sharing this with someone and be able to like talk about it, have a like a partner that is going maybe like not through your same journey, like but in a different way, or is more advanced and it can give you like some tips. So I've really appreciated like all our the sessions that we had.
Yeah, no, likewise. And how exciting, right? Like every time I feel the pressure on myself to actually perform. And if I feel like I'm not going as fast as I can, I always look back and ask myself and tell myself that, how exciting is it that I get to be a beginner at this? Because I only get to be a beginner at this once. And so I might as well like relish in it and enjoy it because it will make for a good story looking back. And so it's been great, like seeing you do that. I think that's the beauty of like trying to build something of your own and might as well like, have fun while we're doing it. So yeah.
Totally agree.
Oh, I got to ask you something else as well. So what were some of the outcomes that you have achieved since we started working together?
Well, our sessions have really helped me to like just start and like having that like goal in mind of starting, but also I I gave myself the goal of posting every day for the next 30 days, which has been quite a lot to be honest. And but it's a commitment that I'm giving myself. So I think that's something that I've like. It's been hard, but I've built that confidence, and I'm like working on that to like continue posting.
Mhm. Yeah, I think 30 days challenge is great because I mean, when the mental resistance is about starting, then like getting yourself to start and just seeing it as an achievement in and of itself, I don't think there's anything better than that. So I'm glad to see that you've been sticking it out. And yeah, I'm curious to see like how you improve as you go through this journey. So I'll keep commenting every single day on those reels that you post.
Thank you.
Um, and what would you say has been like unique about us working together as opposed to say working with someone else? In what capacity that we have worked have you found it to be unique working with me?
Yeah. Well, first, I think now that we're both coaches, like we know that a lot of like the blogs are not on the action part, but they're mental. So I do like feel like you understand that side, like a little bit of like the psychology or like the blocks that we have before like trying to achieve our dreams. So I did feel really connected to you with that, and also like hearing about your journey. You make it sound very real, and I also felt like you're very like easy to talk to. Like it's talking like to a friend who's gonna share tips with you. Who's It's a very comfortable environment, and I feel very safe to share my journey with you.
That means a lot to me, honestly. That's so sweet. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Uh, I think yeah, it's really interesting because a lot of times when people work with um, someone, let's say, who is a consultant, a lot of times people might just give you tips. Like we have so much noise on YouTube and Instagram these days. There is like no limit of number of tips that you can find from people telling you to just start or like be more consistent, but no one talks about like what it really means. No one goes into, like you mentioned, the psychology of it and actually ask people like, okay, if you're having issues starting, like what is it exactly, what's stopping you? And like to go deep into the psychology and like what someone is actually going through before even getting them to start. I think it's something that's oftentimes missed, and when you use coaching frameworks to help someone uncover those things, and if you can work on them like within the first 1 month, it makes it so much easier that when the person actually starts putting themselves out there, they are like unstoppable because they have already worked through all the issues. So if someone's feeling like they're a perfectionist or they need to know everything, if you can help them like uncover that and make that mindset shift, it makes it easier for them to like almost like when they start, they if you can get them some themselves to feel that they don't need to be perfect to start. So like I think that has been something that I've observed like working with other clients as well, and that is something that like kind of stands out in my experience even working with you, which is like not really giving advices that are not landing or telling someone what to do, but actually understanding where they're coming from and then approaching them from that point of view, right?
Yes, yes, I totally agree.
um I would also like to know that how have this like past few days that we have worked, and since you've been posting your reels, how has it impacted like your life? um like how has it impacted other areas of life now that you're like getting more consistent? So is it helping you like feel more confident overall? Is it like making you feel that okay, I've got this, like now I'm on this arc? Like I'm just curious like how what changes have you been observing?
Yeah, actually, I'm noticing a lot of things. I'm approaching this with a lot of curiosity and seeing what are my blocks, like that resistance. And but also like I have a commitment to myself to post. And even last night I posted at 12 a.m., but I know I have to do it. So it's also helping me try to find ways to be more creative. And I think that's like the biggest takeaway that I'm having like these days is like having that discipline to keep posting and also like unlocking my creativity and try look for things. Like now I'm even as I approach my daily life, I'm thinking of, oh, how could this land with like an audience? What kind of things can I share? And it doesn't come naturally, but I'm working on it. So it goes back to that beginner mindset and like being okay with beginner thinking here. I think that's super like it's giving me a really positive like outlook on how to see this.
Yeah, it's really interesting when we get ourselves in the zone of like creating content like the whole day, as in when the ideas come to us or we might have some experience. It's almost like okay, like I might end up creating like a content series on that, or I might create a reel on that because uh it's like you're always on the on mode when you are actually enjoying the process. There's a lot less pressure to create content for the sake of it, but more like you mentioned, since you're taking it more from curiosity and less from a lens of pressure or something that you need to do. I'm observing even after watching your reels, it's like there's like a lot of curiosity and you're just sharing value and things that seem more genuine and real to you, and you're just trying to share that with people and not really trying to get something in return. And I think that energy shift has been really visible. And I just like wanted you to recognize that because that's that's exactly the type of like mindset that kind of prevents people from burning out, you know. So it's been great watching that honestly. How would you say, yeah, how would you say having me just from the lens of accountability help you? Because there are a lot of people who know all the right things and might even be better at editing, like as compared to me or you, or might even be more comfortable talking on camera or have a lot of experience, but for some reason they're not able to take actions. What would you tell those people like uh, about accountability when it comes to working with someone that might help them actually get closer to their goals faster?
Yeah, I think it's great to have a coach to ping pong ideas and like have strategies, have a next step. Like every session having like I love that your blend is coaching and also like helping uh like people who want to get into like content creation and YouTube. It's because it's not just about learning the tools, like it's a complete shift into your journey and of becoming someone and what you're learning about yourself in the process. And this is it's really hard to do it on your own. You can journal, you can read as many podcasts as you want, but if you don't sit down and like really think about what's happening and how what are you transforming, like how all these things that are in your mind and what you're becoming, it's really hard to see your transformation. So having a coach and an accountability partner really mirrors back all those learnings that you're having about yourself in your own unique time. Like it's not based on what helps like any other person. Like we're all so unique and we all have different like dreams and motives on why we're doing things. So I do love that you have this blend of coaching, but also like, okay, let's get into the nitty gritty and let's work on getting like taking action on their goals.
Yeah, I remember when we first started talking, we talked about like, how to like get you to start posting and be more consistent. And I remember like us talking about like first, like just like taking it slow for a little bit, like figuring out the strategy and what have been the roadblocks that have prevented you kind of from being on the street despite having an Instagram account for 5 years and actually creating good content. But for some reason there was this gap. And so I think taking it like slow and figuring out those things and then actually like uh, sharing or exchanging knowledge with regards to the strategy, like what kind of reels to create and so on. I think that really like that kind of blend, as you mentioned, like I think it's really beneficial for someone who wants to get into content creation, but is also struggling with self sabotage, perfectionism, shyness, or whatever it may be. And I believe that no one needs to be an expert to get themselves out there as long as they have a story. And I believe everyone has a story to share. So I'm really happy hearing you say that this blend has been helpful to you. Um, I have one last question for you because I know like we are almost at time. Uh, what would you tell someone who's potentially on a fence about working with me, or someone who's like not really sure if should hire a coach or if they should work with me? What advice would you get them?
Yeah, well, I believe that every single person in this world should have a coach. It's like I am a coach, I have a coach myself. And like going back into that blend that you gave, like if you're um like do you have so much knowledge on content creation and so many tools that there's so much value that you provide, and also that other side of like who are you becoming and that life coaching aspect. I think anyone should just like take you, yeah, if they want to like work on coaching, like not on their coaching skills, but on like learning how to create content or like get bigger, but also going and making sure that they are staying authentic to themselves, that they're actually like connecting with their values and they're doing it in a sustainable way, like not being able to burn out. Like there's all these tools like that a coach provides. And I think like working with you would really like help anyone like who has those dreams and also wanting to become a better person. Um, yeah, I think it would be very beneficial. So definitely I recommend anyone to go work with you.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much. Honestly, that means a lot. It's a big favor, of course, like you agreeing to do this because I know like you have a pretty busy schedule as well. So I hope you realize that I really appreciate it. And it's been great working with you. And yeah, I appreciate you joining the call and um, yeah, and appreciate you sharing like your insights with.
No problem. Thanks, Yash. It's been a pleasure, and we'll definitely keep working together.
Sounds good. Yeah. All right. See you in the next class.
See you.